This video will show how to display the 10 most recent images in CPM along with their status of pass, fail, or warning. Beginning with the end in mind, this is what we're trying to do. We have the live image here, replicated down here, and then we have the previous image, the one before that, the one before that, also cascading through the status for each one of these. So if you look down here at A, it's yellow. If I manually trigger again, now it passes. And if I move the target slightly, we can see that it cascades through, as does the status. This test color is just so you can see for the red, green, and blue what percentages make up what color. So you could set that in VPM. Let's look at VPM and see how this is all done. We have this task to be able to trigger the camera from CPM. We have the image in task. This is just a blob looking for the dark pixels. It's looking for a blob of a certain area, width, and height. We have this basic program next that has these conditions and it sets these colors. Result red, green, and blue. 100, 100, 0 will be yellow. So just to illustrate how you could change the status and track it through, I kind of made up some things. But if the number of blobs is greater than 1, in this case, we'll make it yellow. If the part is good, it'll be green. If the part is bad, if it's not good, then it'll be red. And if it was not any of those conditions, which can't happen in this exact case, but for completeness of the example, if it's not any of the special cases, we want it to be the background color light gray. Next, we have this data set, which is a read-write variable. Looking at the properties, you can see that it is of a data type called color, which is an array of red, green, and blue colors, 0 to 100%. You can also see that each one of these is linked individually to those variables in this basic tool. So we have here the basic tool is called result check, and the variables called here result red, result green, and result blue. So the last thing after we've analyzed the part and determined whether it was good, bad, and what the color should be, put that in the data set so that CPM can read the color. For tracking, we're going to call this buffer task one time per image acquisition, and this cascades through each of the 10 images. VPM programs execute from the top down, and we had groups to make our lives easier and to organize it. We made this group and called it image 1 and copied and pasted, and we got group 2 automatically updated, paste 3, 4, 5, 6. This data set is of type image, and it is set to be the previous buffer, image 9. So if we bring up CPM, this was the most recent image. And down here on the other end, we have image 10, image 9, image 8, and we also have the status for image 10, 9, 8. Image 1 is the live image, so they'll cascade through. And by that I mean image 10 is set to image 9, 9. You can see here is set to image 8, 8 is set to 7, and so on, until you get to image 1, which is the input image from the blob, so we could show the cyan of the blob that was found if desired. Also, we have this data instance of type color for image 10, and you can see again, when this is executed, it gets the value from 9. 9 gets the value from 8. 8 gets the value from 7, and so on, down to 1 is the color from the blob. This is that data set we had talked about before, result color for CPM. The next thing we have to do is make these indicators larger and add text to it that will either say OK when passed or NG for no good when it failed. And we'll start doing this in VPM. In the result check, we'll add this new tag result string, and the result string will be OK for the part good. If the part's not good, we'll put in NG. As soon as I entered it, and hit compile, then I get this tag, and I want to make sure it's of type string. Now, in the buffer images task, I want to go add this result string to each one of these groups. So this first result string, we need to link directly to that basic statement, result string. And now for string 2, I need to link it to string 1. And similarly, for string 3, we'll link it again. String 3 needs to get linked actually to string 2. Now, back in CPM, we can take and add in the display drawer a text display, and we'll click on the font and make it bold and make the size 48 and click OK. The preview will display as question mark, exclamation point, question mark, as a placeholder. Now we need to make it bigger to fit the space. I'm going to make it just the same size as that indicator, and now we need to link it. So this is our VPM, our vision task. Since we've made changes, I'm going to refresh it to update it, and we're going to go to the buffer images, and I'm going to just pick this result string and the value and drag it on top of this object. And it found two. It found the panel, and it found the indicator, and it found this text display. Or we could create a new text display. What we want is with this existing text display, we want to link it to the text. So I'll click it. And we'll do that for each one of these. Data Logic has a team of application engineers and system integrators and distribution partners to help you with your machine vision application. Get in touch with us at datalogic.com.